The deadliest island on earth. Okay. So, there's an island somewhere full of snakes and nobody can go there. Apparently, anywhere you step, you look, you smell, you see snakes everywhere. So, very, very stoned, I want to come up with a story. I want to tell a story. So, bro, imagine this. Imagine you're crashing your boat on an island. Then you realize what? The trees are moving. Aha, it's gonna be fun. So, the ocean looked fake that night. It's not a beautiful fake, not a wrong fake. Instead, the kind of fake that makes your stomach feel heavy before your brain even understands why. The moonlight kept reflecting across the water in this weird silver color while the waves moved too slowly, almost like the ocean itself was holding its breath. I remember sitting there staring at the map in my hands thinking, this is how... No, there is no way this island is real. This is so tiny, man. It's middle of nowhere. There are no cities, there are no roads, there are no lights. It was just one sentence, scribbled beside it in old Portuguese handwriting. And then it's saying, do not enter. I don't know Portuguese. Don't tell me to speak Portuguese. I'm not. Now, obviously, that's the exact type of sentence that makes humans immediately want to enter. Human beings, do not step on the grass. And that's how this entire nightmare began. Now, this is my story. The locals at the harbor won't even say the island's real name out loud, because every time I asked about it, people either changed the subject or stared at me like I had already died. He did. He dead? Oh no, he breathing. One old fisherman finally leaned closer and whispered, the island belongs to them now. Did I whisper? Them. Not people. Not animals. Them. At first I thought, this guy is just messing with me, Bana. You know, how people make the legends bigger over time, blah, blah, blah. Every dangerous place somehow becomes cursed after enough years. But then I noticed something very, very strange. Every boat that harbored at the harbor faced away, and mark my words, away from the island. Even while anchored, they all faced away. Like nobody wanted to accidentally drift too close during the night. That's the kind of detail your brain remembers later when things get bad and you're like, wait a minute. The weed is just reporting. The next morning, the sky looked grey and swollen, like rain was waiting for permission to fall. Perfect horror movie weather. I hired the only fisherman desperate enough to take me close. Money speaks louder. Even he refused to actually land on the land. The entire ride there felt like a curse. There were no birds, there were no other boats, no sounds except for the engine and the water hitting the sides of the boat. Then suddenly, voila, there it was. Snake Island. And bro, from far away, it looked beautiful. The scenery to die for. That's what makes it disturbing. Human brains expect dangerous places to look dangerous. You see, like we expect lava, skulls, fire, skeletons, something obvious. You see, the Halloween kind of thing. But Snake Island looked peaceful. The thick green forest covering the cliffs, while the sunlight hit the leaves perfectly. It looked like somewhere rich people would build vacation houses. Man caves, man, I'm telling you, the modern ones. Until we got closer. That's when I noticed the branches moving. Not from wind. Look this. Not wind, not weight. It's not earthquakes. Snakes, man. Then the fisherman saw me staring and immediately muttered, "Do not stop moving once you land." Excuse me? That's not advice. That's a threat, disguised as an advice. The moment my shoes touched the shore, something inside me started screaming to leave. I had that. Not emotionally, physically. Like my nervous system already understood something my brain hadn't processed yet. The forest felt too quiet. The tropical islands are supposed to be too loud. Birds, insects, movement, waterfall, yap, 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 yada, yada, yada. But this place felt muted. Like nature itself was trying to attract attention. Then I saw the first snake. Then another. At first, it wasn't dramatic. No music. No giant monster reveal. Just a quiet movement hanging above me from a branch. A golden snake slowly wrapped around the tree like it had been watching me the entire time. Then another. Then another. By the time I saw another, my brain is like, wait a minute. Motherfucker. Boom. The truth. The trees are moving. What's on the trees is moving. They're full of snakes. Bro, I froze so hard, I forgot how breathing worked. Everywhere I looked, snakes. Coiled beneath leaves, wrapped around branches, sliding around rocks. Some barely visible until sunlight hit their skulls, and one rolling down my pants. And the worst part, the island wasn't chaotic. It was calm. The snakes weren't attacking wildly. They didn't need to. They already ruled the island. I was a trespasser. What terrified me the most? The confidence. Imagine being on an island where humans are not the dominant species anymore. You're not the hunter. You're not even important. You're just another warm object moving through somebody else's kingdom. You're the intruder. I started walking deeper into the forest because apparently my survival instincts were on vacation. Every step felt very legal. The deeper I walked, the worse the island became. The air itself felt heavy, humid, rotten, like the forest was slowly digesting everything inside it. Then I noticed something terrifying. Bird skeletons everywhere. Small piles of bird feathers scattered beneath branches. Tiny bones hidden beneath the leaves. I'm telling you, I'm shaking. It looked like the entire island fed on something unlucky enough to land there. Then I remembered why the snakes evolved this way. Scientists say snakes became trapped on the island thousands of years ago after rising oceans separated it from the main Brazil. No predators, limited food, so nature adapted. The snakes developed stronger venom capable of killing birds almost instantly before they could fly away. Meaning, this entire island became a giant evolutionary nightmare. And bro, Once that realization hits you, everything changes. You sober up. Because suddenly, every branch above your head feels loaded, every shadow looks alive, every movement feels fertile. At one point, I accidentally stepped near a rock and heard hissing from three different directions at once. I nearly left my soul behind right there. Then came the silence. Not normal silence. That heavy type of silence where your brain starts imagining sounds because it can't handle emptiness, no wind, no birds, no ocean anymore, just this endless green stillness, decorated with snakes. And that's when the island stops feeling real. It started feeling ancient. Like humans were trespassing inside something older and meaner than civilization itself. I found an abandoned structure deep inside the forest. A tiny lighthouse remains covered by vines and decay. Half the roof collapsed inward while the walls looked shaded by time. The fisherman earlier had mentioned a story about lighthouse keepers disappearing 3 years ago. At first, I assumed it was just another legend, until I saw the floor. Snakeskins everywhere, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. Inside of the building looked less like a house, more like something nature had reclaimed completely. That's when panic finally hit me properly. Not fear. Panic. Stoners don't fear. That realization is that if something happened to me there, nobody was coming. Temperature alone. No hospitals, no rescue, no signal, no help, just snakes. Thousands of snakes. And suddenly, the island felt huge. Not physically huge, psychologically huge. Like the forest could keep swallowing people forever without anybody noticing. I turned around and started heading back toward the shore fast. Too fast. Branches scratched against my hands while leaves snapped beneath my feet. Every sound behind me felt like movement. Every shadow looked alive. At one point, I swear I had something heavy slide through the trees behind me. Then came the moment I still think about sometimes late at night. I stopped moving for maybe 2 seconds, and the forest moved too, not dramatically, just enough, tiny shifts in the leaves overhead, tiny movements beneath the branches, tiny sounds from every direction, as if the island itself had noticed me. Bro, I have never felt less human in my entire life. That island strips away from illusion humans have ever had control. Civilization tricks us into believing we dominate nature, cities, technology, lights, roads, but places like Snake Island remind you that humans are fragile animals pretending to be gods. And nature remembers that. I finally reached the shoreline shaking so badly I almost collapsed. The fisherman pulled me into the boat without saying a word. He didn't ask questions, didn't look surprised. He just started the engine immediately while staring straight ahead. As the island slowly disappeared behind the fog, I looked back one final time. And for a second, I thought I saw movement standing perfectly still at the edge of the trees. Not a snake, something taller, watching the boat leave. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe fear, maybe my brain trying to survive the experience, or maybe the island wasn't as empty as people believed. The only fisherman the fisherman finally spoke after nearly an hour of silence. You understand now? I asked him what he meant. He stared toward the dark ocean and quietly replied, "The snakes are not the reason people fear the island." Then he refused to say another word for the rest of the journey. Okay, one for the mind, one for the mind. Well, yeah, that was my first trial. Please let me know in the comment section how you think I did, and what you think you'd want me to improve, what you'd want me to. I know it sounded like I was reading. Yes, I was reading because that was something I'd written some times back. But from our next video, I just want to randomly come up with something that brings out the science behind the topic. Maybe I can redo the deadliest island and see how it turns out for our next video. Subscribe and I'll see you soon.